record.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so yeah, we're recording. It is January 25th, 2024. It is 10:51 a.m. It is the professional trader here. I'm back again with Kailash. How you doing today, sir?
Doing good. Doing good.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just to go back to what we were talking about, because I don't know if you know this internet page is called like quantitative correlative, something like that. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but basically like
Yeah.
it tracks all like government stocks that
Okay.
like that government people are buying. And then like he made a post yesterday how he was talking like months ago. I think it was Pelosi, somebody like that had bought up a whole bunch in Nvidia stock. And
Yeah.
then like yeah, how it's just been kind of it's been shooting up. And then I think it was yesterday that it went up higher as well, or was it a
Yeah.
couple
It
of
even
days
went up
ago?
like 4%, four
Mm,
4.8% higher. Yeah. I watched that
dang,
yesterday.
dang, that's pretty cool. Man, this
And
this
she made a
Tesla
lot of
thing,
money too. They even showed how
yeah.
much money. I think it was like maybe like 80 million or something like that. Like just a
That's
bunch.
that's crazy. It's crazy
Yeah.
that they can even legally do that, but hey, that's
It is.
topic for another day though. Man, what I do want to speak about today is the DXY. I'm gonna go to Forex Factory today. Because we had unemployment numbers come out and then we had advanced GDP come out hotter than expected GDP, higher than
Mhm.
expected unemployment, which is like not the best for the dollar. But what do you think overall of the fundamentals that came out today?
Yeah, I recently saw that. I'm thinking like it's just even more evidence that the GDP is high. Why do
Yeah,
we need to cut rates?
yeah,
There's no problem. So it's
yeah,
good for the dollar, good for the
yeah.
interest rates.
Yeah. I would say most definitely for at least like the last week or two, fundamentally speaking, it has been bullish dollar rather than we're gonna cut rates. It's more so looking like okay, rates might stay the same. I don't know about raising them, but it's looking like rate cuts might not happen anytime soon, right? Like kind of how people were expecting a month or two ago. But I'm looking at the DXY right now. It's still pretty interesting, right? Because we had that pop above. Looked like we may have potentially been going to make a higher high. Came back all the way down. Looked like it was gonna close lower and be the start of a lower low, wicked all the way, and now we're just kind of back, in that range. So it's like bullish for the dollar, in my opinion, at least. But even with as bullish as it is today, we still haven't seen a higher high. So for me. I'm still 50-50 on the DXY. What do you feel personally about the DXY?
Yeah, I think the market, I think what you just said is completely like it. It's 50-50. Even the market's 50-50.
Yeah,
When we go one day, some people take profits. When we go one
yeah,
way, the other way,
hmm
they take
hmm
profits or they
yeah. So
hedge. Yeah.
if I because personally, if I had to pick away, I think I would still lean more short-term bullish than like I'm still like long-term bearish, but I think I'm still more short-term bullish. But just kind of zooming out and even looking at the daily chart, it's hard for me to even with this 4 hour like candle that just happened the last 4 hours. It's hard for me to buy right now, right? Just because I kind of missed it at the support level and it's right back at that resistance level. And it looks like it does want to break, but it's still kind of hard for me to just buy it right now. So it's like there's really no opportunity for me right now on as far as like DXY markets go, and then kind of sucks, right? Kind of sucks a little bit, but Forex pairs are kind of looking, the same way. And not everything DXY is kind of moving like as well as the DXY is moving, which is pretty interesting. Like USD CAD, for example,
Mhm.
it kind of had, it had this big push up yesterday. We see that we're just kind of retracing it. Even after that news came out, right? We kind of closed bullish for a while, but then, it seems like it's giving it all up, and this candle may even close red. So it's pretty interesting that the dollar is like really bullish, but not every forex pair is correlating with that. Maybe except like Euro USD.
And the
Yeah.
USD JPY, I know for sure,
Okay,
compared to the
see.
Canadian dollar,
Hmm.
it gets more closer to the highs.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
actually, no, I'm actually wrong because earlier it wasn't. It's kind of like in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just for I'm just gonna go over some forex pairs real quick. So it's like, I'm looking at USD CAD. I still like the buys, but for me to buy it right now, it's kind of hard. Uh, I, I told you about this. I closed out a little bit too early. I think it was 2 days ago. When that Euro news came out, I think it was that yeah, the flash manufacturing, those PMI numbers came out. So then, the DXY had kind of tanked for a little bit. Euro USD had kind of went the opposite way, but things weren't really DXY favored in the middle of the night. So I ended up closing my USD CAD trade, and then we see that it popped up all the way back. So just my luck on that one, right? But looking forward now, it's like how do I buy USD CAD? We still haven't made a higher high, and can't can't really sell it right now because it hasn't hit this resistance level. And in my opinion, can't really buy it right now because it hasn't made a higher high. So it just more patience, in my opinion. And still just needs to see that like higher high come in, right, and then tr potentially try to buy it. But until then, there's really no opportunity for me on USD CAD. And if price did start to retrace, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Personally, I'm not really looking to, because let's say, if take this fib tool from here to here, there's this 50% level down here, there's this 618 level down here. But to me, the buys don't look that attractive, from here, and if it does go all the way down here. So that's why it's for me, if it retraces, I don't really like to buy, but I don't really like to sell either. So I'm kind of just in an odd place, with a lot of forex pairs. But that's USD CAD. Euro USD. We saw that it broke lower a couple days ago, retested, all the way to this one's previous resistance, even closed above it. And then, now we see we're just right back, in that range again. So it's pretty interesting, with these Forex pairs and just kind of how they're moving back and forth. But, even with something like this, the as bearish as it is, the trend, in my opinion, has like still not truly changed. And we're still just kind of back and forth ranging. So it would be easy to kind of have FOMO right now and be like, oh man, I missed the trade. I want to get in on it, as from a seller perspective. But I feel like the real moves still, just haven't happened yet. Uh, AUD, USD, kind of the same thing. We hit the support level down here. We've been retracing, and I still like, potentially, this chart to the downside. But it's hard to sell it right now, right? And it's kind of hard, and I wouldn't want to buy it right now, right? Because it's kind of just in between everything. And personally, that's how I feel. GBP USD just looks ugly right now. If I do say so myself, right? It's hard to buy this right now, and it's hard to sell this right now because we have this resistance level that it couldn't break, but we have this support level that's still down here. So the markets, even though the DXY is, it's been buying, right? I feel like a lot of Forex pairs are just not all the way agreeing with the DXY bullish momentum at the moment. What do you think personally?
I think it's really because of like the economic events that's going to happen.
Hmm.
I think it's like the positioning. It's like nobody wants to make a big buy move or like nobody wants to establish a position
Yeah.
before the event. So I think
Okay.
the whole sideways, like all this choppy action,
Yeah.
it's all just like short-term trading
Hmm.
and it's all I guess that's like the favorable way to do it, right? It's just like quick in and out because if you hold it, then it comes all the way back
Yeah.
in this environment, like at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me on Euro USD. I guess you can kind of say, like, in a way, I was a little bit too greedy, was looking for bigger momentum. And seeing these impulse candles, right, should have been a big sign. We closed below here. But that next 4 hour candle was pretty impulsively back to the upside, followed by a higher, smaller candle, followed by it going higher. So, the price action was pretty telling. But yeah, I guess my greed, kind of messed me up, on Euro USD. Should have took some profit, but I didn't. Are you looking at any Forex pairs? Are you looking at anything at the moment?
Not at the mo. I'm just kind of just watching like just from
Hmm.
like a longer term view, just seeing how things are going.
Okay.
And I
Are
agree,
you
like the dollar, it's like it looks like a beach ball. Like when you put a ball underwater and it keeps
Yeah,
popping back up.
yeah.
I find like that, like that's what it looks like.
But I do remember a while something you said, it's like, like either whether it's support or resistance, it's like, the more times that it
Oh
just
yeah.
that it hits that support or it hits that resistance, like, the weaker it gets for sure. So, but we're in that back and forth, right? It looks like it wants to knock out the resistance, right? Because it's came here once, twice, three times, maybe a fourth time. But it also looks like, the support potentially wants to get knocked out too, because we've hit it once, two times, three times, four times. So it's literally like up in the air, right? And there's like literally no winner right now. But price action wise, it still is bullish, and fundamentally speaking, it still is bullish. So I'm still leaning more towards that way, but there are no opportunities that present itself for me to trade that way. So that's just kind of why I'm looking at the markets right now, and it's like, oh, like, I'm not sure. Yeah, and I feel like that's okay, for me, just like, not to be sure.
The good thing is too, usually when the market is very like indecisive,
Hmm.
usually when they do reach a decision, there's always potential like it goes to one side and then it gives it all back and then it goes
Yeah.
all the way down the other side. But
Yeah.
usually when the market kind of like shakes out a little bit when the event
Mhm.
happens, usually like it's like a big move, whichever side, up or down.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah.
hopefully.
So I just want to look into, do we have anything that's happening that's important next week
I think it's just the FOMC on Wednesday.
on
But going
Wednesday?
into that, tomorrow, the number for the PCE number,
Hmm.
that's going to be like a big tell, or not tell, but like it's going to be important for the Fed.
Uh-huh.
But
Hmm.
Wednesday's the big day. I think it's Wednesday. Sometimes they do it
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
ADP. So I'm guessing NFP
This is the
comes out that
FOMC.
Friday. Yeah, FOMC
Yeah.
1 p.m. So that's like noon my time. And then there's the ADP non, so I'm guessing this is like the pre till Friday, right? NFP would be coming out
Okay.
that Friday, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
So I think it's PCE for tomorrow. Oh, it's also I guess, oh, Friday. I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
no,
There's
next
unemployment
week.
stuff.
Yeah, next
Oh,
week,
okay.
next
Oh,
week,
you're right.
Friday,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Yeah. So we have FOMC next week, and then we have NFP next week too. So yeah, it makes sense, right? Just what you said, right? The market is kind of just factoring in for. I mean, the fundamentals that have come out recently are most definitely important. But the big ones for sure always NFP, FOMC. So it seems like the markets
Yeah.
are just kind of like gearing, themselves up for these numbers, or whatever is gonna happen at that time. So yeah, that does make sense. I know you said you're not in any trades. Have you taken any trades within a day or two? Are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, yeah, let's see. I am deep in a trade. I'm going to
Okay.
stop out probably.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
man.
I
If you
took a
if
little
you
bit
don't
more risk.
if
Let's
you don't
see.
mind sharing with me and whoever maybe is
Yes.
watching,
You're going to
we'll
see
watch.
my degenerate activities here. Because like honestly, like so on the account, I was up a little bit.
Hmm.
So I figured, I'll buy 10 Tesla shares at the close yesterday. So I'm down quite a bit on that, but I managed my I was like 10 Tesla shares, I know it's going to go down. It's most likely going to go down, but
Hmm.
let's see. I took that hit. I know 10 shares. I'm still holding it. I got my stop loss right at 182. So I'm definitely going to stop out. Tesla is super weak.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. I
okay.
was thinking Tesla could have a bounce this morning.
Hmm.
So I'm reaching that daily loss limit. So I'll be honest, got to be 100% transparent. I'm ready to take that loss.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's a mindset thing because like
Yeah.
usually when I'm up a little bit, I
Hmm.
take heavier risk. So now that I'm down, I completely switch gears
Hmm.
and go super conservative.
Okay.
And I'm probably stopped out of the Tesla trade. That's my
Uh-huh.
stop.
Where where would be is this on FTMO, or are you taking
Oh
this
yeah,
on?
yeah. This is the
Yeah.
10K, the FTMO one.
Okay. Uh, so I mean, if you do get stopped out of this trade, are you looking to enter again, or are you looking to change perspectives? What happened? What's the next move for you on Tesla, or is it a
For
wait it
sure, the
out kind
right
of game?
move, completely just avoid it, I think.
Hmm.
I think it could bounce, but honestly speaking, this is the daily chart. You're gonna like I will have to see on Tesla. The only way I would ever buy this, conservatively speaking, yes, I'm
Hmm.
kind of essentially, to be honest, it's a gamble right now. But I would like to just see like each session, I want to see value move higher. So I don't know if this is gonna, it takes a bit of time for this to load, but usually you just want to see the high of day get broken. So
Yeah.
at the moment, like it's a clean move lower, like yesterday's session, this is
Hmm.
today's session.
Yeah.
If I'm ever going to be a buyer, you want to see the sessions move higher. So take like Nvidia, for example, like, or let's see, like any good stock, like this is Microsoft. Microsoft is a buy. Like right at the open,
Yeah.
we got above yesterday's the value area where most of the volume was. We got above that high. They kind of held above it. Like that's a
Yeah.
good area to buy, but
Okay. I
Tesla
see.
is disgusting.
Yeah, I see. Man, do you know the numbers for the earnings where they
I know they missed essentially. I've been
uh
trying to like I think what you do, I know I like what you do with where you just like mostly just focus on the chart. I've
mhm,
been trying to shift my mindset towards that. So like I'm some people like the people that I admire the most, they don't even they don't even know what the interest rate is. You know what I mean? Like they don't even
yeah.
care
Mhm,
interest rate, unemployment. They just
yeah.
look at what the chart's doing.
Yeah, for sure.
But
For sure. Because the markets is gonna price in what the numbers come out for sure. Like
yeah.
that's why like I get people who say like fundamentals don't matter, but then I understand the people who say that fundamentals do matter, because they go hand in hand for sure, but
Hmm.
you don't have to you don't have to know one to be able to do you don't have to know fundamentals to be able to do price action, even though they do go hand in hand. So yeah, I would agree with you for
And
sure.
there's many examples where the fundamentals should move price a certain way, but
But
the
don't.
market's
Right.
positioning at
Right.
the end of the day is what moves price.
Right.
But
And we've sat here and we've seen that multiple times ourselves too. So, yeah, most definitely.
but I think on my account I'm down about like 2% if I don't get stopped or if I get stopped out. Or 3%. I'll be down 3%, which is not
uh,
too bad.
yeah.
My bread and butter, I just go back to the US 100 and
Hmm.
I trade that.
Hmm.
So that will be like my kind of like rebuilding
Yeah.
thing to rebuild with. Yeah.
Do you have anything that's almost setting up for you? Do you have anything that you're looking like it may be a trade, or is this everything kind of flat for you right now? Because right now I have no setups right now.
Right now, not much. Just on the US 100,
Hmm.
the buying dips, it's looking a little bit kind of, it could be toppy, so which
Hmm.
actually could be clues. Because think about this, like the US dollar is holding strong on the daily chart. We're
Yeah.
still balancing, we're going
Yeah.
sideways.
Hmm.
And what's interesting is the market, like NASDAQ, I can put it right here. On the daily chart, NASDAQ's moving higher. So the
Yeah.
dollar is maintaining its strength. NASDAQ's moving higher.
Yeah.
It's a question of are we going to see the dollar pull back and then the NASDAQ move higher? That's a possibility,
Mhm.
but the NASDAQ potentially, like I wouldn't short this,
Yeah.
but I would be cautious buying up here.
Yeah.
And the dollar seems like on a NASDAQ pullback, dollar could make a move higher. It's
Uh-huh.
certainly holding its strength. The
Do
USD
they
JPY looks bullish too.
do they usually correlate the DXY and the Nasdaq, or do they usually do the opposites of each other? Because I'm noticing that they're doing the same thing right
It's
now.
definitely it's one of those correlations where it doesn't match up like minute to minute or hour to
Yeah.
hour,
Hmm.
but it's kind of like a general, I've noticed like a general sentiment, like how do I say this? What you would see is like the dollar has moved up and
Yeah.
you can see the Nasdaq from here has moved
Hmm.
higher,
Yeah. So
but yeah,
so
zoomed
is
out
a
it's like
is a bullish dollar good for the Nasdaq, or is a bearish dollar good for the Nasdaq? What would you say?
I'd say it's like a headwind, basically.
Mm,
Like it could slow it down just a little bit.
yeah.
One thing I noticed is when the dollar is accelerating, the
Mm,
Nasdaq can pull back. But when the
okay.
dollar is going flat,
Mm,
smaller moves up,
mhm.
it can
That's okay.
have
Yeah,
that effect.
man.
But
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's honestly very interesting, man.
yeah.
So t tomorrow, even though it's Friday, it should be pretty telling. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll get a breakout, one way or the other tomorrow when these
Hmm.
numbers come out. Something I did want to take a look at real quick,
Yeah, yeah,
is gold, because I haven't traded gold in a while, just because gold has been a ugly chart too, in my opinion.
yeah.
But um, going on the 4 hour
Oh, okay.
chart
Yeah, yeah.
really fast. Something I would be looking for on gold just to kind of clean this up, you know, because it seems like we've been breaking lower. But for me, if we could, kind of get this low, then yeah, we still have this resistance level right here. But if we start to break these levels on gold right here, I'll be looking for potential shorts, at least, maybe from this support level to this support level. But if we break this right here, right, we have a great risk reward in my opinion from like this level right here, to this next level right here. So gold, if that dollar does continue to buy higher and gold, does the opposite, which it does for the most part, then I think there's a, real nice potential on gold. So that's something I'll be watching out for. But who knows, if that'll happen. But yeah, that's something I have my eye on gold. Um yeah, other than that, I really have no setups though. There's really nothing for me. It's really I was looking at your AUD. I bought it at one point, but I ended up closing it early before my stop loss got hit. So,
Mhm.
I guess pretty good on that one. But, was looking at this impulse move and then, it retraced to this once resistance level right here, which was looking like it could have held. We had a lot of wicks in this area. We had good momentum, for a couple hours, right? Green candle, green candle. Yes, these were bearish, but they were nice wicks. Came all the way down here, wicked, followed by another bullish momentum. And I thought it may have started to continue after this nice 4 hour bullish candle. But right, we see that we just never broke out of this, resistance level right here, right? So yeah, that was something I was looking at, didn't work out well. I ended up closing Euro AUD and USD CAD early, right? USD CAD ended up going, but Euro AUD ended up not going. So I guess I still made the right call closing, both of these trades pretty early. But yeah, I have no setups for me at the moment, right? If Euro USD breaks out, then yeah, that's an opportunity. But the risk to reward is not as great anymore. It's not bad though. I mean, about 100 pips, that's most definitely still some good profit. AUD USD, I'm looking at this support level. If it gets broken right here, I like the trade, but realistically, need to see this support level right here get broken right before the trade really just makes any sense. GBP USD is just terrible to look at. USD JPY, it looks good from a bullish perspective, and it's printing higher highs. Today we see that it's retracing, a little bit, but it's kind of falling, in that like general area. So, USD JPY looks like a good buy potentially, but not really just looking to buy it just yet. If it could come down maybe one more time, reject it again, then maybe a potential opportunity, but not really looking for it right now. Not really looking at any of these charts right now. So CAD JPY looks like a potential opportunity. It broke out of this resistance level right here, and we're kind of right back in that range. And we see we're printing some nice 4 hour some nice bullish candles in this area right now. So this CAD JPY looks like a nice potential opportunity, but not really just looking at yen pairs right now. Really just more so focused on USD pairs. So you know If I'm patient enough, there will be setups, but just not really setups for me at the moment. But I'll be back personally tomorrow. I don't know if you're free, but maybe we can see how these numbers come out. See if it has any effect, on the DXY, and see if things get rolling, right? And look at the DXY now, right? As quick as it pulled up,
Mm.
you know, it's coming right back down. But there's still more than 2.5 hours left on this candle. So it can reverse the other, maybe it can reverse the other way and can continue, or maybe it'll just continue to be choppy. But yeah, and just no rush for me right now on any charts. So yeah. Maybe yeah, man. But if you have time tomorrow, maybe we can do a post analysis on the market. I'm realizing that these live reactions are cool,
Mm.
but that like what happens 1 hour to 2 hours later is really, what I feel like is what's really important. Like looking at the numbers are cool for sure, but 1 hour later, 2 hours later, has it continued or has it wicked all the way? So
It
yeah, man,
blows my mind how much
mhm,
money is out there. Because
right.
sometimes we look at our, like, we're just used to hundreds, maybe like a couple $1,000s. That's our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But for some people, like they enter a position, immediately they're down 2000 or up 2000, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
means very little to them.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But I'm down. I'm free tomorrow and everything.
okay,
I
okay,
gotta say one
cool.
thing about gold. Isn't it
Hmm.
funny when everybody's talking about gold
Hmm.
as it, reaches that all-time high, but
Yeah.
then suddenly, because I try to keep an eye on the market
Hmm.
and I always try to like listen to what people are talking about.
Yeah.
For the past month, for the past 3, 4 weeks, I haven't heard anybody talking about gold.
Me
And what
neither.
has price been doing? Yeah, exactly. I'm sure,
Just
like
literally
online
me
and everything.
neither.
Like,
Yep, literally.
yeah.
But I will say though, just real quick about so
Mm.
it gold it looks ugly for sure, but there's one thing I will say, it's been printing these like I just nah, let me make it better. It's been printing these lower highs, higher highs, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's right here. So that's still something, I just want to be cautious,
Yeah, and it's usually like
of,
an
right?
impulse, right? Or like a how do I say it? Like it usually comes like one rally. Like when it moves up,
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
up
Mhm.
and up and up. Yeah.
Yeah, that is most definitely something that, and that's why because from my phase one, I realized that when I do take gold trades, for the most part, they always end up going my way. But I'm just because I'm real patient on gold, just because I know how volatile it
Yes.
is. So there will be a good setup on gold, eventually, and right, but buying it right now with these lows that it's been putting in is just not smart, and selling it right now is just not the smartest. So yeah, I'd be looking for the breakout either this way, or the breakout, this way. And that's kind of just, how personally I would be playing gold. Yeah, it's just to simplify, is it gonna break out this way or is it gonna break out this way? So yeah, we're just gonna have to see, which way gold goes.
And some people I'll just say one quick thing. Some
Mhm.
people they trade gold like a little bit emotionally. So
Yeah.
when gold goes down, they're just thinking, well, gold is a hard asset.
Hmm.
The banks are short gold, and they get into
Hmm.
this mindset. So they maybe they get into a boring market and then they justify holding it. And that's why, like you just said, being patient is the perfect way to do it because when
Yeah,
gold moves,
it
it
moves.
moves after it's shooken everybody out,
Yeah,
drilled down a
yeah,
little bit.
yep,
So
yep,
we'll
yep.
see.
It
Yeah, it's
it
definitely
you know
bullish.
it does things like that, right? It'll tank for weeks for because this is from December 1st till, let me see, December 1st. So basically almost 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks of just after of this big momentum, 2 weeks of it just, to the downside, right? And then, in 3 hours, right? It's done like how many pips is this? About 400 pips, right, in 3 hours.
Jeez.
So all right, you'll get those moves in gold for sure. But yeah, just literally just have to be patient on them. But yeah, I agree with you for sure. But yeah, man, you said you're free tomorrow, so I should be
Yeah, yeah.
free tomorrow as well too. So maybe an hour and a half after these numbers come out, we could do a post reaction to these numbers. I'm looking at oil just real fast. I don't trade oil,
Mm.
but I'm seeing that oil is
Ooh.
It's up 1.43% today. And I know oil and the Canadian market kind of correlate, right?
Yeah. Oh, so
Okay.
that must be.
Yeah,
And
so
oil has
make
been going in a sideways range for quite a
a
while. It's been
lot, yeah,
about
quite a
almost
while.
2 weeks, I think,
Yeah.
day after
So
day after.
makes a little bit sense why that USD CAD maybe is not pushing up higher. That oil is real strong, given that Canadian, I guess a little bit of strength today, right?
Yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So,
I never
yeah.
even thought. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
Just real quick, last thing I'm gonna say, it makes CAD JPY a little bit more attractive as a potential buy,
Okay.
just seeing how strong the oil market is too. So, and that wick right here is pretty nice. Somebody like me, the way I trade, my stop loss would be right just below this wick, trying to trade it to these highs. So yeah. Cat JPY looks pretty interesting. I might continue to look at it, but yeah, we'll see though. We'll see. But yeah, man, I
Yeah,
appreciate you for taking the time out to speak to me, man.
for sure. For sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So man, I'll see you tomorrow, sir.
Definitely, definitely.
All right,
All
man.
right,
Yes,
take
sir.
care.
Take care. Yes, sir.